lives that are closest to me. I love that. I love to train and develop people. And the people that are really closest to me, I just love to see them grow and hit their potential and push them. And that's what I love. And that's why I really love teaching, is because I get to pour back into you guys and also certainly tell you what my failures have been, what my experiences have been, and share those with you. And you know what? If you guys can walk out of here encouraged and feeling good and say, you know what? I learned something, or you know what? That guy is not so good. I'm okay with it. But I just would rather, I want you guys to be able to grow. This is a great, super industry that you're in. It's just, you got a lot of self-discipline in this business. It has to take place, right? You just do. So let's roll into your numbers on your 10 fours. How'd we do?
Pretty good. Still
yeah, one person said pretty good.
Well, I'm navigating just the software a little bit. Like when I'm entering stuff into my database, I keep getting an ad that pops up. I think I showed it to Nicole or Lexi. I'm like, oh, I've never seen that. But when you're tired and it's late, if you're like, okay, I've now spent an hour on this. So, but the numbers are good.
Yeah.
Getting it in there all the time isn't always easy.
Yeah, no. Well, I don't know where your scorecard thing is. She usually had that, right?
You need to go back.
Oh, she had to go back and get it?
No,
It was up there.
Oh, was it?
It
Oh,
was
okay, my bad.
Push exit to get out of the PowerPoint.
Oh, okay, got it.
And go over to the browser.
She did something. It was there, you're right.
So now it's gone?
You just need to go to the browser down on the bottom left of Chrome, and you can,
Right here?
and then you should be able to.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Who's Donna?
Me.
Who's Donna? Donna? What the heck? You added 75 people to your database?
I did.
Well, that's
That's shocking to
pretty
you.
dang good. So let me help me understand, Donna. Where are you getting 75 people?
That's just like people I know that are kind of in my inner circle.
Okay, so that's really more of a time discipline. Okay, I'm just gonna do this type of situation, right? Where you just start keying the people in, right?
Yeah, I just kind of like, well, I know a lot of people.
That is good. All right, Elizabeth, you got 9, right?
8. It's always off by 1 for me.
Oh, okay. All right, Paul. You got 16, looks like. Denver's not with us today, right? All right, connections.
See, now I just figured, remember when I asked you, I guess it was Wednesday, my quote our connection. See, I haven't even entered those.
Well, that's your business.
But I mean, I've got them written down. It's just that, like, I didn't even know what that word meant. Like, I'm brand new to the software.
Okay, so this is actually keying in on something that's somewhat important. She's got, no bad, she's got 75 contacts, which is awesome. But they don't know that she's doing anything if she hasn't contacted them, right? No bad. I'm not,
Good.
But we have to take the next steps to do it.
She doesn't have the license yet.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. Well, then you got it. But it's kind of like this. I see a lot of agents come along Keller Williams, and they get excited, and they attend all the classes, and they get their websites going, and all these kinds of things, right? But they're not taking the action to get the business. And you got to get outside your comfort zone and just go fail your way forward. You could go through all the training and all the exercises, but if you don't apply the actions and you're not willing to fail your way forward.
I would love to have called all those 75 people and
Yeah.
said, but I've done
Yeah,
what I
but
can
you
with
will.
what I feel like is appropriate within the
If you're not
parameters that I
licensed,
understand.
that's an awesome behavior. If you're not licensed, that's an awesome behavior.
Thanks.
It really is.
I mean, I'd love to. That's easy. That's easy for me to. I love to pick up the phone and call people. So
Yeah.
How far away are you from getting your license?
I hope within 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay, good. So we got connections, 37, 21, 6. So what are you guys feeling on connections right now? What's been your experience on connections? Come on. Hey, this is going to be interactive.
They're easy. They're easy for me.
Yeah.
It's easy for me to talk to people and connect with them.
And
Okay.
it's amazing when you, like, just.
My numbers aren't on there. I don't.
Yeah, mine are off too.
Well, I have one other contract and I have an appointment on Tuesday.
Okay, awesome. So when we talk about those connections, what are you guys struggling with there? Anybody struggling with just doing it? Well, hey, you're being honest, right? So what's your name?
Gloria.
Gloria. I'm Evan. Nice to meet you. So what are your struggles, Gloria? What are you finding that's a challenge?
I think it's fear of failing forward. It's the fear that's, I'm not comfortable with what I do after I get the appointment and so forth. And so I struggle to make that call. Does that make sense?
You struggle to make the call because you don't feel like you know enough.
Yes.
You guys getting this? That's real life.
That is real bad.
Okay? That's real life. That's where the training, the education, and so on and so forth, is going to help you. But even with all of that, Gloria, you're going to have to take that step. Okay? So what do? How do you overcome that fear?
Shadow somebody that's doing it.
Yeah, you could do that. Sure, what else? Certainly, role play, what else?
Scripts, yeah.
Scripts?
Right.
Okay, what else?
Also, I'm afraid they may have a question that I don't know the answer to.
Yeah.
Maybe like a loan program, like they said, what loan programs are out there? And I don't know every loan program out there, but,
I get that. I don't know it all. I really don't. But here's what you can do. We're gonna focus our attention right now on Gloria to help her get started. To help her fail her way forward. Because if we don't, she's gonna be stuck with paying MLS, paying KW, paying your license, and not fulfilling a dream that you want to hit, right? Why'd you get in the business?
To get out of the one I'm in right now.
Okay.
You need to start bold with us.
Are you in bold?
We did
Well,
start
you need to be in bold.
We started yesterday. You can come in 2 weeks. And
It's
it's actually
amazing.
the first class.
Yesterday, yeah. You haven't missed anything.
You have not.
No, you haven't.
Gloria, I'm gonna tell you something. Bold will transform your lifestyle.
Yeah.
We made calls yesterday. We had 25 minutes to make calls. How many agents were there?
Probably 40.
50. I think we did $54,000. If we,
I mean, it was like 162 contacts
it was,
in that class.
we called people and asked them, do you have any, we're doing a contest, do you have any friends or family? And it was a lot easier in a room full of people calling a contact and asking them to refer me. I had several, she had several, just by one phone call.
It was amazing.
Here's the trap that you can fall into in your mind. I'm not ready. I don't know. I mean, she can talk. I'm just a little bit more apprehensive in doing that. And if you let that fear of apprehension control you, it'll shut down your business before you even get started. So, and the cool thing is you're shaking your head, yes, I understand that. Well, that's good that you recognize that. But a program like Bold is going to help you develop those skills and that confidence because you have all of you that are doing it together and you get to celebrate and you just get your confidence up and your energy. And that's what it's all about. Bold is designed to really get your skill level up, get your confidence up so you can make those phone calls. Or you can make those emails, or you can make those face-to-face contacts. And you can start with the people that you know. There are people in this world that like you. There are. And they don't hang up.
It was amazing whenever we
Now,
told them
my wife hangs up on me.
Yeah.
when we told them that we were competing
For a contest?
for contacts, they were like, oh, yeah.
I know everybody that I've talked to, like, oh wait, I'll text you later. I don't have any right now, but let me go through my contacts.
They want to help. People want to help. So I would really encourage you to do that. It's early in the program.
It is.
Get involved with Kim, get to golf with these girls. I'm
We
telling you,
got
mobile is transformational.
We're carpooling.
That really is the best way. I mean,
I'm telling you,
I'm
it is.
completely new to it. I'm still waiting for my, I've passed everything, but
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for my number or whatever, the license number to come.
Yeah.
So, I work for a church
Yeah,
in full-time, so it's
Thursday
killer.
all day.
So I just started telling people, and I said the words, I just wanna get to know anybody who wants something, And boom, they were like, oh, let me, and I did, I had 2 texts today from a lady I talked to, and she said, I think my granddaughter, she's been in an apartment, I bet if she actually had an inside track, she may actually buy a house. I'm like, okay. So the reality is, people work for you. I figured that out. I'm only been, like I said, I passed my test on the 3rd of January. And just saying, man, I'm just trying to figure this out. People are like, hey, I'll help you figure it out.
Lord, you can do this. You can. Then go do it. Take the step. Get enrolled in both. You'll make it happen. Invest the money. You'll get triple the return. Triple the return. You'll get quadruple the return that you put into it. Okay? But it is that class is designed for you. And there have been thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of agents that have gone through this program. Thousands. And the results come. So, do it. I would encourage all of you guys. Webb, do you have anything to add on that? You've been through both.
I'm twice bold.
Twice both, yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna learn how to run this business, just go bold. It's going to kind of break those barriers that you kind of go into thinking I can't do this, or I'm not comfortable doing that. And whenever you're surrounded by a team atmosphere and your small group of people are doing the same thing you are, that encourages you to also perform and just do the activities.
It's a great environment, isn't it?
There's as much mindset and inner stuff in Bold as there is business stuff. In fact, the mindset and inner stuff that you work on in Bold is almost better than the business doing.
It is.
I've got a stupid question. So I got my test, finished the test, came in, boom, here's classes. So I got everything thrown at me. I have no
Right.
idea what Bold is. I've heard it over and over and over again, but I don't know exactly what we're talking about.
What's bold? What's it stand for, guys?
Business objective.
A life by design.
Life by design.
Business objective, a life by design.
And it's a class here.
It is
Yes,
a
it
class, it's a regional class that occasionally comes to our region, usually once, maybe twice a year. And it's an outside facilitator that is Keller Williams MAPS approved, so it's a high-level teacher. It's these guys have done, these men and women have done transactions, hundreds of transactions over the years. And they've gone through the proper training and been certified through MAPS International. Elizabeth.
The surprise me was, towards the end, I decided to do that Bold 100.
Yeah,
I did it door knocking on kind of a rainy day, and
Yeah.
I was able to meet 100 people. Got a few leads that still haven't handed out, but still got some
Sure.
good leads for the future. But
sure.
it surprised me, 7-8 hours walking, you can meet a lot of people and you can surprise yourself.
That's exactly right. If you were bold enough to take the steps to get licensed and go through that, you're bold enough to succeed in this business. Okay? All right. Let's give her a round of applause. She was kind of... Hey, I want to tell you something real quick here. I want to show you these. This is my headset. So these are, when these are on, I'm generating. Okay? So this sends a signal to my team, try not to interrupt, no interruptions, that type of thing. Not that I'm not approachable, but just, this is my time. This is the cash register right here. That's what those are. Okay? So you might want to consider getting something like this, because for me, this is a physical thing that I put on that is visible that I see laying on my desk saying I have not put those on today. And it's a physical trigger for me to lead generate. Because, like I said the other day, I don't feel like doing it all the time. Like doing it today. I know, right? So anyway, you can get these anywhere you want. I will tell you that I really like these because they're Bose, and they have that technology of
Noise canceling.
noise canceling. Yeah, thank you, Wim. So I don't know how they do that, but it's noise canceling type of deal. So if I put these on right now with it not connected to my Bluetooth, I can hear you. But when it's connected to my Bluetooth, I can't. It's a beautiful thing. So anyway, I really do like them a lot, and they're wireless, and I could just roll with it with my phone, so on and so forth. So anyway, I encourage you to do that. These are over the ear, so I can block everything out and just really focus on it. Okay. So I stop lead generating when my ears sweat. They get hot. You guys laughing at it? I'm being serious. But anyway, huh?
How much were those?
I think these were around 400. But you'd think, oh, $400. Well, yeah, but I've had them for 3 or 4 years now.
And if I don't mind me plugging in, my first headset was Blue Parrot, and they have several, they're mainly for truck drivers.
Yeah, okay.
You can get a pretty affordable refurbished set for like $65 to $100.
There you go.
And it's just one side, it has a microphone, but really great noise canceling, and it just helps you, it removes that nervousness whenever you're making a call and having background noise.
Yeah.
So I know I can drive down the highway with my windows down and have a very crisp and clear conversation that they can hear me with, and I'm not worried about sounding,
Yeah, that's exactly right.
it gives you, invest in,
Yeah.
it's a simple approach. Yeah, I've got better ones now, but, starting off, that's a good starter.
Well, you know how like Saturdays are Saturdays are kind of super busy sometimes, and just lots of showings going on, whatever. I can put these on and mode on my zero turn and hear my incoming calls or hear my incoming text messages. That's great. And I can just shut the mower down and and then return calls, return texts, or whatever. But do something. But like I said, for me, seeing these lay there on my desk and I haven't put them on for the day is just a physical reminder. You better lead generate. You better get it done. Does that make sense? So anyway, and I also listen to my music. I love to, I love the Lord with all my heart, and so I like to go into my bar and put these on, just praise and worship. It's really good. So it's good for the music too.
You say barn or barn?
My barn. I got a barn shop type of thing. Yeah. All right, you guys ready to roll? We're gonna have some fun today. So the class. Here's my deal right here. So the last class we went over. Well, brief some people. Elizabeth, talk about what you learned in the last class, and then we did some ahas. Well, as a couple of days have passed, what did you learn in the last class?
Basically, lead gen, and then you're not too big for it.
Yeah, that's right. Door knock. Yep, absolutely. What else?
The market summary on the Flex.
Yeah, that was good.
Did you like that?
I like that.
Yeah, good stuff there, right?
And your CMA, how you did that was good. We all have never seen that.
Oh, you've never seen a CMA done, by the way? That's cool.
I have one, a really good one that you might try.
Okay.
I have on the lake.
Okay, good. And I think the most important thing on comparables is not to get too much data and to get the right comparables. Remember what that word means. What's a comparable? What does that mean?
Equal.
Equal. Okay?
So what happens when you can't find comparables?
You can.
I don't suppose you'd want to show us that CMA again today for the people that weren't here. Your little trick.
Oh, my little trick.
It was good.
What trick was that? I don't remember.
Just the way you pulled it up.
Just under market summary is where
Yeah.
it's at.
Oh,
So again.
No, she's talking about two different things. Market summary is the stats. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Are you,
What?
are you talking about how you did an actual CMA? Cause that's what I was talking about, yeah.
Thanks for that clarification.
Okay, I'll see if I can't do that. Hey, I tell you what, I'm better at talking than typing, so somebody get me lined up on their. So yeah, we can do that. So to help you, Gloria, everything that I do, I know it's, you're learning a lot of material, but everything in my mind, even though I'm not the most organized guy, I appreciate and respect checklists, and I need them in my world. I may not be the person to do them, but I have to have them. But the way my mind is, and I'm very, very process driven. I'm very, very process driven. So I want to really take away the muddiness, any muddiness that was in last class and this class. And I want to combine those today and really kind of give you that step-by-step process on really how it happens for me. Okay? So, are you, okay, I can sign up real quick.
So we set up our own when we go to that site, we
Yeah,
set up our own.
yeah, Lexi does all that, I think, for you. Doesn't she? You have to Lexi do it? Or what?
Oh, does she?
That, whenever you go, they give you that number.
Okay.
When you join the, no, when you
Greater
join the
Springfield.
board, yeah, they'll give you that number.
That would be your,
Lexi doesn't do that. You need to join the board first.
Yeah, the
Right.
board does.
The board does that.
Okay.
That doesn't
Yeah.
come from Lexi.
So you just joined the Greater Springfield
Yes,
one if you're here,
yes.
okay.
They'll explain it all to you.
They
It'll be
will.
step by step, all right?
You need to call and set an appointment. You wanna do that before your license gets back. I think you still can.
You're just a wealth of information over there, Kim.
Not really with her.
I don't know anything.
Thanks, capital.
You just change all of our passwords. Oops.
I think it has to be capital, then some has to be capital. I thought it did.
Is the caps lock on?
Then the sum will have to be capital, it does, right?
No, it doesn't, no.
It does
No.
not.
In fact, it can't be.
Mine is.
Really? I don't know.
Here, I'll give me log in.
Yeah, just give me a log on. Just log on. I think you changed my passwords. I apologize. Okay. So I'll kind of briefly just recap what a CMA is. But really what I want to do today is I really want to go through scripts. I really want to get you involved in the scripts. I'm going to have you guys role play, and I'm going to have you guys get uncomfortable today, which is going to be fun. But I want you guys to really be able to be challenged and talk about the real life scripts. These may or may not be necessarily in the book. So with that being said, I want to go over the marketing aspect of it, because like I told you the other day, my marketing is a lot, not all, but a lot of my scripts. Okay? And the marketing aspect of it is a reminder for me or my team as they're making a listing presentation to their points to talk about. Make sense? Because I'm a big, big believer in overcoming the objection before it becomes a objection. Because if you don't overcome the objection before it becomes an objection, what are you doing?
You get the objection.
Well, you get the objection, but then what are you doing in their minds? Interruption, yeah. What are you doing in the mind of that person you're talking to? You're trying to convince them. You're trying to sell them. You're trying to talk them into something. And that's where the salesman aspect comes in. Nobody likes that. Right? Does that make sense? Yes? No? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. So, before we get into that, I want to kind of briefly show you the CMAs real quick again. Okay. Is this your log on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, where's your address? Huh?
Up to left, and if I said left.
No, I know that, but I mean, I want address right up here.
Oh, I'm in a house.
Can't do it. I don't know why.
Go to home on the left, you can get all the options.
Here? That's been here. Address, here we go. Okay, let's think of an address real quick here. Okay, I've got one. Somebody wanted me to comp their property, that's what that was. I taught a lot of these classes.
I already tried that too.
I don't mind helping people comp properties, but it's then turns into 22 different projects. So I didn't even look at the person that said that, but I think I know who it was, man.
No, it was me.
Okay. All right, so we've got one that's under contract right now. We'll do this one. Did you?
Yes, you know.
Yeah, it is keep going. All right. Okay, so so we got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,006 square feet, about 1,300 square feet. So this one, you know, we just went in and remodeled it all, got all new appliances, all new flooring, new paint, did exterior work, you know, all that kind of thing. So it's been leased for a few years, and it wasn't damaged, it just needed a lot of love. So after we got all that taken care of, and I'm a big believer in getting the condition knocked out. You know, one of my guys called me today and said, hey, let's think about putting that 3.2 on the market. I'm like, he says, what do you think about it? I'm like, you gotta knock out the condition. Here's the condition things you need to knock out, and then we'll put it on the market. Yeah, I know, but you know, I'm like, no, Ronnie, come on, man. You know, you gotta get the condition aspect of it down. We're gonna talk about that as well. Condition is key. I don't care what kind of market it is. It's price and condition that always sell homes or properties in a marketplace. Price and condition, price and condition, price and condition. Price and condition, price and condition, price and condition, price and condition. Whether the market's up, whether the market's down, whether it's tanked, whether it's sky high, it's price and condition. Okay? You saw a lot of agents not hit condition in the last year and a half. Why? Tim, why? Why did agents not? Yeah, you're laughing.
It's a seller's market. The seller feels that he's going to get the price without having to put the work and the money into it.
Almost.
He sells better.
Almost. Very, very close.
There's so many houses and not enough buyers. I mean,
Let's go back to Tim.
To go back on Tim, it's not just the sellers, but the agent thinks
Bingo.
you don't need to work as hard to.
The agent doesn't believe
You have to
This is my
invest on
condition.
that pre-listing.
Okay?
Correct.
Real estate, successful real estate is all about leadership, right? It's all about leadership. You're not making that decision for those clients, but you're providing options. You're walking them through a process that's scripted, yet relational, to help them make good decisions for themselves. But it's leadership. Right? Make sense? Right? So going back to these two, that's exactly right. So agents were not leading their clients accordingly. Because the market was selling them. However, if we did price and condition, like we continue to do, what am I able to do as a listing agent representing my client? If they follow me on condition, they follow me on price, what am I able to do for them?
Get him a good price.
I'm able to push that price. I'm able to, you know, push it to the appraiser. You know, condition makes a difference. It just makes a difference. And what the benefits to that are by sellers net more. What other benefits are there?
He sells fast.
Sells faster. Because the buyer's going out there looking at, well, why didn't they just do this? I don't. You ever taken a buyer out and it's a super good market and they're like, well, why didn't they just do this? Or why didn't they just do that? And then they walk into a listing that has, and they're like, oh, well, of these 5, these ones already done. This one kind of shows private ownership. So therefore, my inspection repair list is going to be less. Less cost there, faster time on, or lower time on market, low DOM, and net more money.
And quicker paycheck fee.
Well, sure, but more of a benefit to my client. That's the way I always approach my business. Right? Make sense? Price and condition, always so. And you know what, most of the condition lists, honestly, are just gonna be small. Okay, so this one here, we're gonna comp it out. Okay, this one's Rolling Prairie, I spoke about yesterday, 1,300 square feet. Alright. So somebody just quickly write these stats down. 3/2/2006, 1,300 square feet. And, yeah,
It's 1,300.
yeah, and keeping in mind, we really did go through this house pretty good.
You
Okay.
put mantle and everything on there.
No,
You did?
no,
Barn?
no, it was already in there. Okay,
What's
So-
our zip code? I can't see it back here.
what?
What's the zip code?
It's
65, it's
Ozark.
Ozark, 6571. Okay, we got that data?
Yes.
Yes? Alright. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna comp it out. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start, you know, I usually, I don't have to, but I usually put, you know, city in Ozark. In this particular case. And I'm gonna go ahead and, I just wanna see what subdivision's doing. Alright, there it is. Okay, so we got 3 actives on the market right now. This is what I'm getting ready to show you what a turnover rate is, right? I spoke of this verbally the other day, right? So I want to see what the activity is. Alright, we got 3 on the market.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so you put in the same town, you decided to also put in the same neighborhood, but did you put in the same square feet?
No, I have, all I'm doing is getting the feel. That's all I'm doing. Okay? I just want to see what the neighborhood's doing. Okay? And the click of this next button is going to tell me if I have to go outside the subdivision or not. I haven't put in square footage, I haven't put in age, nothing. And I know where this is going to be. I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess 37. What's your guess?
For pending or sold?
No, closed.
Yeah, I think that's a good number, 35 to 40.
31. Alright, that's close. Okay, so then I'm like, okay, I've got data there at 31. Now I'm going to get a little bit more specific. Alright? So now I'm going to go back over. And I'm going to go ahead and go into, probably square feet. And this one was 1,300, right?
Yes.
Okay.
For the county,
Question.
did you do a year?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So her question on how far back do I search? I'm going to tell you, these dates automatically default to what?
1 year.
Tim, I never change them. I never change them. I mean, there could be an occasion where I'm playing around with a specific property or something like that, but very rarely do I do it. Now, how far back does an appraiser go?
2 years.
1 year usually.
They don't go back any further than they have to get their comps.
That's right. They write out to 2 weeks, but they come back 2 years.
All mine are doing like 11 months back.
Generally 6 months.
6 months?
Generally 6 months. Okay? Generally speaking. Okay, now that's that can be interpreted. But, so that's why I don't go back, too far or really play with that a whole lot. I just look at it for a year. Okay. So I have 31, and now I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, you know what? To show them 31 listings, that's way too much. I'm not going to show them that much data. It's overwhelming. It's too much. So now I'm going to get to square footage. I'm going to go ahead and narrow this down by square footage, I think.
13.
So it's 1,300, so I'll probably drop that to 1,250. And let's go to 1,500. 1, 2. There you go. And there's gonna be some 2-car garages, so I probably, there's gonna be some 3-car garages, so I'm probably gonna go ahead and knock those out, cause I don't wanna, you know, a 3rd-car garage is gonna add $7,000 to $8,500, maybe $9,000. $7,000 to $9,000 is the cost of a 3rd-car garage. Okay? Got it? It's about that. All right. So, what was I doing? Garage. All right. So we're just gonna go 2-car attached. That'll squeeze it probably a little bit. Yep. Okay. Now I'm gonna go into my list. And I like to start high, so I always do it this way. Okay, so here are my comparables. Oh, and this is another thing, I always drop it down to, oh, this isn't mine. Is it?
You can do it. Go ahead. No, do it.
Well, I don't know how to.
Oh, okay. What's gonna help me when you do it?
Laugh.
No, I don't either.
Hey, I know what I know and I know what I don't know.
If you click on view, you can adjust that.
What?
If you click on view next to your drop down, that's where you make the adjustment.
Okay. So fields?
Yeah. And you drag over what you want.
Oh, okay, cool. So let's go ahead and go with, just drag it over?
You just click on it, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
click on it, it shows up on the bottom.
It shows up on the bottom of the list on the right.
All right, well, I already hate this, so. Okay. So it has the county, I really do need that square footage, somebody come up here and do it.
Go, can
Give me square footage, give me your bill.
Set her up.
Well,
Set her up.
It's really nice when
Give
they're.
her your on there while you're at it.
That's right.
Hey, you know what? It's okay. I'm really okay with myself.
be true.
Actually, I'm better at this, but here's the deal. In front of you guys, it makes me really nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Oh, I'm serious. For me to type on this and that, I can do it on my computer and all that thing fairly well. We're talking about technology. Here's my lead right there.
He's really good at technology.
Super.
Boy, just got a raise. But I say all that to say that I just get nervous. You know, you get nervous making phone calls. I get super nervous in front of you with technology. I just do. So, but
The lesson to learn though is you have a system.
yeah, I do.
That's right.
And you have a program and you know how to use it and
Well-
you use it all the time.
And I have WIM.
You're borrowing one right now.
I'm borrowing WIM.
And you get a raise too.
What?
Come on,
Yeah.
RX bar.
Sorry, I'm adding all sorts of stuff to it.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
cool.
good.
So save.
There you go.
We good? Did you give me square footage?
Yeah, it's over here.
All right, cool. That'll work. That'll work.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
So we'll stay like
I
that.
don't have bedrooms on
It's
there.
on there.
Oh, yeah. It's
Oh,
on there.
yeah, no, I think it's over there. I didn't move it over.
Oh, okay. Good. That's all right.
So it's not that you've done that once, it'll stay like that?
Yeah.
Save it, yeah.
Okay. So, and you know, you can put them in any order that you want and so on and so forth. So the conversation, these are all basically, I think they're 3 2s. But anyway, so we're looking at 1264 square foot, sold for, yeah, let me go ahead and do this. I like them in order of price. So I've got one at nearly 1,400 square feet, so at 145, and year built on that is, don't have that readily available.
That was
1358.
2006.
Okay. 142, 140. You know, here we have some that are dropping off just a little bit and so on and so forth. And our subject property was 13, 20, something like that. So in looking at the comparables and I'm clicking through the pictures, I've already printed off that document. So let's say that these documents right here are the ones I want to use. In other words, these are the properties I want right here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, got it? All right. Then the next category, I'm going to go put those in my selected. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to change and I'm going to go back to active because I want to see what I'm competing against right now. Okay, got one on the market in that category. That one just popped up. 27 days ago, 139.9. That's awesome, because I beat him. Okay. All right, so that's current competition that's on the market. So that selection goes to 4. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit the third category, which is what? Pending. I want to see what's under contract. Probably 1. Well, there's 1. And that one's ours. And I'm going to select that. I'm going to move that over. Guys, these are my comparables. These are my comparables. Okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to CMA. Actually, what I like to do is I uncheck all of them and I categorize them. I only click on the closed. And I go up to my CMA and I correct. I use selected. I do a quick CMA. And it comes in this format. And notice that these are closed. These aren't the pendings. These aren't the actives. Because I want to be able to print those off and control the conversation. Does that make sense? The release of data from your lips is very important in regards to the timing of that. Okay? You following me? Everything is a process. Everything is a process. There's a reason that we follow a 3-step program in listings. There's a reason that we follow when we release information and so on and so forth. And it's very, very natural because I've done it a while, and it can be very, very natural for you as long as you buy into the process. Very simple. The first thing we're going to talk about, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, is what? Marketing. Just going to briefly go over it. Here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to sell you. I want the marketing to be interactive. And I don't want you to get bored and lose your attention. I tell them that. So we're going to spend a little bit of time on marketing. We're going to get into the market. I'm going to show you what the trends are. And number 3, we're going to price your home. Because at the end of the day, I feel like I know exactly where to price your home. We're going to get to that. And I tell them that. That's a 3-step process. Right up front. Does that make sense? So then, and going back to my preparation before I meet with the client, I've got these. I've got them printed off. What's the cheat sheet that I told you to do?
Make 2 copies.
Yep, you make 2 color copies. One for you, one for them. Same thing. Yours is different because
You've written down everything about you.
that's right. You make notes. And I realize some of this is, you've heard this before, but it's always good to kind of hear it again a little bit. Okay? So right down here, after I've printed them off, I'm writing my notes. Because I've clicked on the pictures. I've noted in the kitchen what the kitchen floors are. I've read the marketing remarks, what the master bathroom has. I've read 7 or 8 bullet points that stay with me. They get the clean copy. I got my copy. That begins to validate you as a brand new agent in the business. You know your business. You know your market. You know these houses. And you begin to eliminate the thought process of, boy, she sure is new. Or, he's new. Or, and it begins to change it by saying, but he's working. And she knows. So you write down 6 or 7 little bullet points on your cheat sheet, on your CMA, of 3 homes, not 29 homes that I've shown them. And it begins to validate you. Now, why do I want to know what the subdivision was doing on that 31, what was the ratio? 31 to 3? 31 to 1 to 3, right? 31 closed, 1 pending, 9, and 2 actives, right? Make sense? Why do I want to know that? If it doesn't make it, if I'm not showing them all that. Ted, come on, help me out.
Well, you wanna know that you're pricing fairly.
Well, I want them to,
That's happened there.
yeah, that's right, that's exactly right, you know, hey, I gotta tell you, I mean, you know, your neighborhood, your neighborhood is awesome. It's got a 31-to-1 ratio right now. 31 solds to 1 active. And that's exactly what I told, you know, as I was making my calls this morning. I'm like, Evan, I think we'll just wait till spring. I said, yeah, Dr. Donna. I mean, it's just, I'll call you back Monday. That makes sense. So my point being is, you know, I want to know what's going on in the subdivision, but I'm gonna get it down to a micro on comparables, right? Does that make sense? Okay. Any more questions on CMAs? Seriously, now's the time.
And you send them the 3 pages, the closed ones, the pending, and the active.
Yeah. So that's correct. 3 different categories, 3 different sheets of paper. Okay? Here's what I don't get into. I don't get into that really. You don't even have to include that because it prints off like 2 pages. You don't even have to include that if you don't want to. Okay? That's just little stats and stuff like that. I just don't. I bypass that. I just don't go into it. That's what I focus on right here. Okay?
So Evan, you're not just showing one of each, you're saying that you're showing like 3 closed,
Yeah,
and then the 1 pending, or 3 pending that from the past?
that's right, Gloria.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. Okay? Is that making sense, guys? Elizabeth?
One thing I was kind of curious about was learning the numbers for like, what if you have a small little house, one has a garage, one does not. Where's a good way to kind of learn about what number do I give this? You know, when you're learning a lot of these things, because you're saying what, like 7 to 10,000 or 7 to 9,000 for a good car garage. Where's a good way to kind of learn these different details? Because you see it on HGTV, but I have no clue other than just experience.
So in other words, how did I come to
The
that
value
number?
of that for the car garage.
Super good question. Because I ask questions. I'm serious. I stay in contact with appraisers. A lot of appraisers are in my phone. I want to build a relationship with them. I want to strengthen that relationship with them. I want my team, I want us to serve them. They're helping me get value. And it's all about a relationship. It's not good old boy, hey, I need this to come in. It's none of that. It is with integrity, but it's a relationship. And I know that they're going to work harder for me, right? If I have a positive relationship. Make sense? Appraiser says, I've got an opening at 3:30 today. I really need to get in there at 3:30 today. You've got a difficult seller. I'm really okay with pushing my seller a little bit to serve him or her. Make sense? Get it? I really am okay with that. I mean, I'm not ugly. I'm just saying, hey, this is what we gotta have. Keep the process going. Alan, come on, man. Okay, Evan, all right, we'll do it. Whatever it is. I just want to be able to serve those guys. So my point being is, you ask them questions. When Austin first came aboard, I had him shadow. Who did I have you shadow your first couple of weeks, dude?
An inspector, an appraiser on our home, a loan officer. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
Septic guy?
Thanks, shine on that. I've done those. I'm good.
He's done a few of those. But my point being is, go do that. Go spend some time, a couple of hours with an appraiser. Go spend a couple of hours with a home appraiser, or with a home inspector. Go spend some time with, sure, a loan officer, but the processor. That's who you want. Okay? They're not going to sell you. They're just going to tell you what their process is. So you learn. You ask those questions. You learn about those loan programs. You learn about the FHA and all that kind of thing. You know, that's how you learn. That's how you learn, by spending time with that. So so a third car garage, Brandon, where you at? Well, it's generally gonna be about this. Oh, okay. So help me understand this, or I have a question on that, or, do you think this will go to USDA, or, whatever. Yeah, this, and this. Yeah, it's just, that's how you learn. You ask questions. And you gotta be okay with that. I have to be okay with that. I have to be, after 17 years, I have to be okay with, talking to planning and zoning, saying, I don't understand. Help me understand this. Well, this is what you need to do. Just this week I did. I was like, hey, I don't understand this. Well, this is why, I'm like, now I get it. You have to be willing to do that. And the people that are willing to ask those questions and educate themselves they're going to succeed. And you know what? It's just like lead generating. Guess what those people want to do? They want to help you. Right? They want to help you. Because they're used to being chewed on. Well, they are. They really are. And, just this gal Webster Electric this morning, I'm like, you've been so helpful over the phone. She goes, well, I appreciate that. I said, well, you just made this super easy. Thank you for that. She's like, well, you're welcome. And who are you? Well, I'm Evan DeStrong with Keller Williams. Well, thank you so much, Evan. It's just that. Does that make sense? And I think the Lord honors that. I don't think he does. He does. He just does. Yeah. Okay. All right. We good here? Yes?
Yes.
All right, cool. Okay, so let's kind of get into, so I'm all prepped, man. I've got my comparables. I want to go ahead and click back on these comparables because we'll use them again. Okay. So now I've already done my walkthrough, right? You remember my walkthrough? Got it? Okay. And the way I break down my sheet, I'm getting elementary on you guys. Okay? I wish I had an eraser.
And you could do it right there.
Oh.
See it right there?
Yeah. Okay. And I got a pink marker. Okay, good deal. So on my walkthrough, you guys know that I like to write down on the notebook, and I told you why. But on the walkthrough, I'm going to say, 4-bed, 2-bath, 3-car garage, their name, Frank, and their address, maybe here, whatever. I'm just scribbling. And then date, his name and all that, 1/19/19. Okay, and that just goes in my notebook. And then I start on the exterior. Boom. What are 5 or 6 points that I like about the exterior? Boom, 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 boom. Look for things. If it is a standard 322, you look for things. Look for things. Be creative. So let's say it's a super bland house, whatever. Okay? All right. Let's say that I got a brick front. Okay? Fairly level yard. Yard. My writing. Privacy fence. Oh, it's got a double gate. That's kind of nice. It's got a nice patio. And what else do I like about it?
Beautiful mature trees.
Yeah, mature trees. Yeah, front and back landscaping. I do that a lot. I look for things to talk about. That's what you have to do, right?
You put lot size and things like that.
these are all cheats for me in my marketing. So when my office quiets down, one of my roles is the marketing remarks. And I hate doing it. But it's okay. Gotta change my attitude about that. But the bottom line is, this helps me. Because bullet points for me help me form a sentence. Does that make sense? You got it? Did you learn that in college? No? Okay. All right. Then we have, maybe inside, or, you could do living room, I guess, but inside. And what I liked about it, maybe raised ceilings. Maybe vaulted ceilings, maybe raised ceilings, maybe a corner gas fireplace. Maybe attic fan. Let's see what else. Maybe a split floor plan. Okay, that's my inside. But then I really key in on 92% of the decision-making process for a buyer is what?
Kitchens and bathrooms.
Who knows? Kitchen and bathroom. Okay, so that's the area I really am going to focus on, is kitchen and bathroom. And then you go through it. Pantry, tile backsplash, hardwood floors, stainless or black appliances. What else? Can lights, island, granite, composite sink, double sink. If it's a standard 8.5-inch stainless sink. Window over the stainless sink. Just whatever. Well, hey, those things right there, I'm just filling.
How are jacuzzis doing on
Because the more time that they read my marketing remarks, the more time they're staying on my listing.
How are jacuzzis doing? Are they a selling feature anymore, or are people getting away from them?
Nobody likes to move them. That pool tables.
That's Sherman jacuzzis used to.
Okay, so that's my walkthrough checklist. I've already done that, and that was on the appointment before, right? Got it? Now we're at the listing appointment. So I've already got my notes. I've already got, my prep and my CMAs and all that, and I'm ready to go.
Can I
So,
ask you a question?
well, okay. What's up?
So at your walkthrough, do you mention anything about them hiring you?
I just assumed the sale. Clarify your question.
You don't mention agency agreement, anything like that? You're gonna get into that here in a
Yeah,
second, I'm sure.
and I close maybe a little bit differently. Sometimes they're like, okay, hey, that sounds great, and this and that, and hey, tell me about this, or tell me about that. Hey, you know what? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll talk about that in the next sit down. I didn't want to take too much of your time today. I've got my notes, but we'll talk about it. We'll lay everything out. Because honestly, Wim, there's going to be this question and there's going to be other questions.
Mhm.
But here's what we're going to do, is we're going to take it step by step. So that takes the pressure off of them. I'm not trying to close them, but at the same time, it exudes some confidence in that regard. Does that make sense? Some
Yeah.
leadership.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I want them to follow me. Make sense?
yes.
Okay. So I'm going to pass this around. This is my marketing plan. You guys can kind of take a look at that. And it's ever changing. It's going to change again here pretty quick. And while that's being passed around, I'm going to go into Lupe and okay, yep. I'm gonna go ahead and sign in and get to that sample. Don't know who that is. And what is it? I know. Maybe lost one. Hey, we're losing another one. This is awesome. Okay. Okay, oh, and I already showed you the seller's estimate proceeds sheet, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so where was it going? We'll go to market. I don't know if I have that marketed in here or not. It doesn't look like I do. My marketing plan. I was hoping to show that to you from a visual presentation. But you guys can go through that listing folder and kind of see what we have. We have a client information sheet that looks like this. You know, all of my clients, whether they be new or whatever, it doesn't matter, are going to fill this out. Whether they're referred clients, whether I just, you know, it doesn't matter. Unless it's one of my investors and they're repeat, you know, we don't do that. But
You
because
have them fill it out?
Huh?
Or you fill it out?
No, they filled it out for me. Yeah, they filled it out. But text, kids at home, birthdays, place of employment, ways to contact you, other notes, that type of thing. Okay? That's my client detail sheet. That takes place at the listing at the appropriate time. Okay? That's huge. That's huge. Because that way you're not always interrupting and, you know, hey, I need this or hey, I need that. You can, it's so efficient this way.
Will you share that with others?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can do it. So we'll feed the database. We feed the database with it. We do transactional things with it. Just very, very process driven. Does that make sense? Okay. So what we're going to talk about, let me grab this back real quick, is my marketing. And so Mr. You know, Kim, as we sit down, we talk, you know, Wim, as we sit down here and we talk about your home, the three things that we're going to cover tonight are certainly the marketing. I do want to show you kind of what's going on in the market through marketing and how we get homes sold. I want it to be very interactive. I want it to be just that. The second thing, we're going to show you what the trends are, what the actives are, what the solds, and how the market and how the subdivision is doing. And then number three, we're going to price the home. So the first thing in pricing, pricing is my number one strength in my marketing. Okay? And that's an odd thing to put on marketing. But honestly, my job is to sell your house 3 times. I have to sell it to the person online with amazing conditions and awesome pictures. And number 2, I have to sell it to the agent. When the agent clicks on your listing, we want them to say, this one makes sense, I'm going to show it to Sarah and Tori. I'm going to do that. This one makes sense. So I'm selling it to the agent. And the third person is, how can I push the price and sell it to the appraiser? That's the third person I have to sell it to. So I have a job of selling it 3 times. And the things you can control as a seller are what? What 3 things can you control as a seller?
The condition of
Condition.
the home, if you choose to have it staged, at your realtor's suggestion, I hope.
Condition. What else?
Price,
Price.
location.
No.
No, no,
That'd be okay. Hey, haven't moved this house.
You gotta shift it 5 feet to the right to get away from the turn lane.
What?
I'm just joking, you gotta
I know
shift
you're
it 5 feet.
That's all right. You need help. So what's the third thing you can control? Come on.
Condition,
Price, condition,
Showings?
availability. Yeah. Well, we can't show it to Chad. I understand it. If I were to push you on this and have you open up your availability, would you do it for me? Oh, yes. Okay, then I'll take that as a yes, because we don't want to miss a buyer. Now, I get and I understand that situations come up. Just text me back. Let me know. But I need, this is the one thing that you can control. and I need your help. Okay, all right, we'll do it. Does that make sense? Those are the three things that they can control as a seller. Right? Okay. And what, and number two is negotiations. That's my number two strength. I am very friendly with you. I like you as other agents, but I'm a tough negotiator. I'm there to represent my seller, and I'm there to represent and net as much as I possibly can for my buyers, for my sellers. I do it in a friendly way, but I'm tough. I'm not ugly. You know, but I can't be ugly because I want to build positive relationships with you. Does that make sense? But I'm there to get as much as I possibly can from the seller. Help them make good decisions. And really strike a win-win. You know? Make sense? So, that point on negotiations is strong skills that are used to maximize top dollar in today's market. Strong skills that are used to maximize top dollar in today's market. Number three is trust. Do the right thing. I'll be honest with you in all cases, including unpopular issues. Because I want to tell you, as we successfully go forward in business together, there's going to be some hiccups as we're under contract or whatever. But guess what we're going to be able to do? We're going to work through them. We're going to work through them, even the sensitive ones. We really are. But that relationship begins with the trust. Because I have your best interests at heart. Because I'm dependent upon your referrals. You were referred to me. I want you to refer me as well. Does that make sense? Number four, communication. Even when things are slow in your house, or we're not getting the activity that we think that we should, or whatever, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to communicate. Hey, how's it going? Hey, I'm just checking in on you. Hey, I just want to let you know, we haven't had showings for a couple of weeks, but I'm just letting you know, I'm still thinking about you. We're going to have another open house coming up here pretty quick. But I just want to hear your voice and let you know that you're on my mind. We're working. Evan, thank you so much. Instead of silence. Instead of your client reaching back to you. Make sense? Leadership. Lead them. Provide them information. Hey, just wanted to give you just a quick update. You know, glad I got your voicemail because I know you're busy, but we had a couple more come up on the market in your neighborhood, and this is what they are, and so on and so forth. I'm just giving you a shout out, letting you know. Okay? Things like that. They just want to know that you're thinking about them, that you're working for them. Communication as the market softens cannot be stressed more importantly. I pick up so much business for lack of communication. Lack of communication. There was a listing that hit the market, and it was listed by a fantastic agent that I know quite well, and we didn't compete or anything like that. I didn't know him at the time, but anyway, things get busy. We all make mistakes. Evan Deschamps, shoot, I made mistakes, and so on and so forth. And at the end of the listing, I was referred to him and talked to him and all that kind of thing. Went in, talked to him, and prepared. And I said, how can I improve? As we meet and establish this trusting and this relationship and so on and so forth, what areas of opportunity do you see for improvement in my industry? Communicate, just talk to us. That was the number one thing. And, we were listed for all this time, we never really even heard anything because there wasn't activity and so on and And it was the course of a conversation, maybe an hour and a half that we talked, you know, it was just cordial like this. And that trust and rapport was being built and so on and so forth. And he says, Evan, you know, at my presentation, you know, what are you thinking on price? Where do we need to be? And I asked him in that conversation, the first time I met him in person, after an hour and a half, for $125,000 furniture truck. $125,000. And he gave it to me. My point being is, talk about awkward silence. Bam, that was at the max.
Did you sell it?
So,
You will.
my point being is communication is key. Just because you're maybe a newer agent growing up in this business, don't think that you can't outwork or outcommunicate these top agents. Get over it. Don't compare yourself to top agents. Just go in there and you do it. You know what? People like you. You have a connection with people. The fifth thing is staging. And that's where I'll really go into the condition aspect of it. And I'll go into that a little bit later. Number 7 is internet. You know, 900 different websites, Realtor.com, Keller Williams Enhanced Version, Point to Agent, 300 Evan, my website, Facebook, all that stuff. All those things on the internet you have. I target market agents. I target market buyers. What do you mean I target market agents? What do you think? How do I target market agents? Huh? Yeah, luncheons, sure. What else? Hallways? Facebook? You know, those types of things. Target market buyers. And number 10 on my marketing is I lead generate. I put that on there. I lead generate through networking. I lead generate through a business database that's alive and well and breathing. Market awareness through the market summary report. Organization. We have checklists and so on and so forth. For different organizations. Real estate activities. I teach a lot of classes. I attend a lot of classes too. And agent-to-agent relations across the nation. Go to family reunion, fly my team out there, all expenses paid. Go to family reunion. That's an investment. I'm making them. Because I want them excited. I don't want a dime to come out of their pocket. I want excitement to rise on the team. Investing in people that are talented around me. Okay? But it's also connections with other people. It's also connections with other people and other agents across the country. You know, doing transactions. You know, I have a friend of mine that does real estate syndication. Pretty high level stuff, you know. Big apartments and stuff like that. Well, he's kind of, you know, at standstill, if you will, in the Springfield area. Just not. So he's like, hey, I need to go. I want to get out of state. I want to do this, this, and this. I'm like, great. I got 7 commercial agents around the country that are all looking for him right now. Central Florida, Detroit, Colorado, Texas. Yeah. And these are people that just met a family reunion or whatever. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then Kelly really just enhances that even more. I'm talking, you know, he's doing some multi-million-dollar deals. So that investment of time is absolutely worth it, right? Make sense? So it's using those opportunities, and Keller Williams, the Kelly referral app, and so on and so forth. So that's my marketing aspect of it. And I've really kind of set myself up to go into my CMA. And here are my scripts on the CMA. Okay, so did you have any questions? This is my script. Do you guys have any questions on the marketing aspect of it at all? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what let's do. Let's go ahead and make the transition into the market itself. Let me kind of show you what the market is doing and what we need to do. Okay? Where we need to price your home. So this first one, as you can see, is on gardening. And, you know, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, it's about 1,300 square feet, built in 2009. It hit the market at 141,500, and it sold for 140. And that was just about 3 days on the market, so pretty quick. How recent was that? Well, it was in May of this year. Okay, all right, Evan, that makes sense. Okay, got it. So this next one, oh, and by the way, and this one had my 7 points, 6 or 7. What's it a glimpse of?